I'm looking low, I'm looking everywhere I go, looking for a home in the heart of the country. I'm gonna move, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna tell everyone I know. I'm looking for a home in the heart of the country. Heart of the country where the holy people go. Heart of the country, smell the grass in the meadow. I want a horse, I want a sheep, I want to get me a good night's sleep. Living in a home in the heart of the country. I'm gonna move, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna tell everyone I know. Living in a home in the heart of the country. Heart of the country where the holy people go. Heart of the country, smell the drops in the meadow. I want a horse, I want a sheep, I want to get a good night's sleep. Living in a home in the heart of the country. I'm gonna move, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna tell everyone I know. In the heart of the country. Heart of the country where the holy people go. Heart of the country, smell that grass in the meadow.
Well, the little red hen found a grain of wheat. She said, this looks good enough to eat, but I'll plant it instead and make me some bread. Said to the other guys down the street, who will help me plant this wheat? Not I, said the dog and the cat. Not I, said the mouse and the rat. I will then, said the little red hen, and she did. The sun shone bright and the rain it blew, and the grain of wheat it grew and grew. It began to sprout, headed out till it was ripe enough. Now who will help me harvest this stuff? Not I, said the dog and the cat. Not I, said the mouse and the rat. I will then, said the little red hen, and she did. She lugged it to the miller to grind the flour, 'cause the others would offer her no manpower. And at baking time, they all declined to help her with the job. They were a doggone no good mob. Not I, said the dog and the cat. Not I, said the mouse and the rat. I will then, said the little red hen, and she did. The bread looked good and smelt so fine. The gang came running and fell in line. We'll do our part with all our heart to help you eat this chow. She said, I do not need you now. I planted and hoed this grain of wheat, and them that works not shall not eat. That's my cradle, the little bird said, and that's why they call her Red.
Larawa ngardiran kawit. India ngardiran magorokoro. Jiribuga marlo. Minabara. Bayubera.
left, right, left, right. Walking up the track. Jiribuga, the porcupine, never looking back.
Went riding out one dark and windy day. Upon a ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw, a-plowing through the ragged skies and up that cloudy draw. Yippee-yi-yi! Ghost riders in the sky. Their brands were still on fire and their hooves were made of steel. Their horns were black and shiny as their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky, for he saw the riders coming hard and he heard them mournful cry, yippee-yi-yi! Ghost riders in the sky. The riders looked on by him, they heard one call his name. If you wanna save your soul from hell, we're riding on our range. Then cowboy, change your ways today, or with us you will ride, trying to catch the devil's herd across these endless skies. Yippee-yi-yi! Ghost riders in the sky. Ghost riders in the sky.
Little tadpole in the water, swimming around and having a giggle. Have your fun, 'cause one day soon you're gonna lose that adolescent wriggle, and you'll find yourself sitting on a log, because every tadpole becomes a frog. Now, baby tadpoles all go off to school and learn all about the golden tadpole rules, and they grow up fast and they stop their joking and they sit by the pond and practice croaking, and just like little puppies all turn into dogs, every tadpole becomes a frog. Scooby-Doo. And then the frogs grow up and have more little tadpoles, and those little tadpoles all grow up to be frogs. Yes, they do. Well, you take the beautiful butterfly that flutters around so colorful and pretty. Well, that butterfly was once a caterpillar, so keep on your toes, Mother Nature is a killer, and life's a triumph for the underdog, because every tadpole becomes a frog. Rabbit. And then the frogs grow up and have more little tadpoles, and those little tadpoles all grow up to be frogs. Yes, they do. Scooby-Dooby-Doo. Ribbit. Mm-hmm.
50 burly bushrangers went out to steal some gold, but all the bush was wet with dew, and one caught a cold, and one found a bulldog and creeping on his chest, and one had a gammy leg and had to have a rest, and one thought he saw a snake, another had a pain. The rest they heard a gun go off and scampered home again. 50 burly bushrangers went out to steal some gold, but all the bush was wet with dew, and one caught a cold, and one found a bulldog and creeping on his chest, and one had a gammy leg and had to have a rest, and one thought he saw a snake, another had a pain. The rest they heard a gun go off and scampered home again.
My dad snores, does yours? My grandpa snores too. Through walls and doors, it rumbles right through. My mum's nearly going insane, though she kicks him again and again. Oh, what are we going to do? Your dad, does he snore too? My dad snores, does yours? Like an old steam train. There he goes again, like thunder and rain. We tried a peg on his nose, but when he snores through the TV show, what are we going to do? Your dad, does he snore too? My dad snores, he roars like our old school bus. What's the fuss? He says, what's the matter with us? So we taped him on a blank cassette, but he still doesn't believe us yet. Oh, what are we going to do? Well, your dad, does he snore too?
hop and go one was lying asleep on his side in the sun. This old kangaroo, he was whisking the flies with his long glossy tail from his ears and his eyes. Jumpity bumpity hop and go one was lying asleep on his side in the sun. Jumpity bumpity hop.
Oodnadatta, Parramata, names to make your tonsils chatter. Tonsils chatter, silly patter, Oodnadatta, Parramata! Oodnadatta, Parramata, 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 Oodnadatta, Parramata.
I've been around the world a couple of times or maybe more. I've seen the sights, I've had delights on every foreign shore. But when my friends all ask me the place that I adore, I tell them right away. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep or two, a kangaroo, a clothesline at the back, veranda at the front, and an old rocking chair. You can see me in the kitchen cooking up a roast or Vegemite on toast. Just you and me, a cup of tea. Later on we'll settle down and mull up on the porch and watch the possums play. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep or two, a kangaroo, a clothesline at the back, veranda at the front, and an old rocking chair. Some people like their houses with fences all around. Others live in mansions and some beneath the ground. But me, I like the bush, you know, with rabbits running round and a pumpkin vine out the back. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep or two, a kangaroo, a clothesline at the back, veranda at the front, and an old rocking chair. Give me a home among the gum trees with lots of plum trees. A sheep or two, a kangaroo, a clothesline at the back, veranda at the front, and an old rocking chair.
There's a lot more of Australia out the back. The greater part of every state is off the beaten track. Though most of us live on the coast, you can't escape the fact there's a lot more of Australia out the back. When it's lunchtime up in Brisbane, in Perth it's breakfast time. It might be raining down in Hobart, but Darwin can be fine. The cities of Australia are all so far apart, and in between's the outback, and that's Australia's heart. There's a lot more of Australia out the back. The greater part of every state is off the beaten track. Though most of us live on the coast, you can't escape the fact there's a lot more of Australia out the back. Your neighbour in the city is living right next door, or what you call your ceiling could be your neighbour's floor. But your neighbour in the outback could live so far away that if you want to visit them, it could take all day. There's a lot more of Australia out the back. The greater part of every state is off the beaten track. Though most of us live on the coast, you can't escape the fact there's a lot more of Australia out the back. There's a lot more of Australia out the back. The greater part of every state is off the beaten track. Though most of us live on the coast, you can't escape the fact there's a lot more of Australia out the back. There's a lot more of Australia out the back. The greater part of every state is off the beaten track. Let's hear it for the Nullarbor and the good old Birdsville track. There's a lot more of Australia out the back. There's a lot more of Australia out the back. The greater part of every state is up the beaten track. Though most of us live on the coast, you can't escape the fact there's a lot more of Australia out the back. There's a lot more of Australia out the back. The greater part of every state is up the beaten track. Though most of us live on the coast, you can't escape the fact there's a lot more of Australia out the back.
My daddy died and he left to me griddle and a riddle and a fiddle-dee-dee. I cooked upon the griddle and I thought about the riddle and I played a little twiddle on my fiddle-dee-dee. When I was a grown girl, I ran away to sea with my griddle and my riddle and my fiddle-dee-dee. People feasted at the griddle and they puzzled at the riddle, hands crossing down the middle to the fiddle-dee-dee. As rich as a body could be with my griddle and my riddle and my fiddle-dee-dee. And I sizzled at my griddle and I wrestled with my riddle, sinking deeper in the singing of my fiddle-dee-dee. Now I have a daughter and she get from me griddle and a riddle and a fiddle-dee-dee. She can bake upon the griddle, she can struggle with the riddle, and can play a different twiddle on the fiddle-dee-dee.
Well, I was humping my bluey on the dusty Oodnadatta road. Along came a Sammy with a high and canvas-covered load. If you're going to Oodnadatta, mate, with me you can ride. I climbed in the cabin, I settled down inside. He asked me if I'd seen a road with so much dust and sand. I said, listen, mate, I traveled every road in this here land, 'cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Betalamo, Seymour, Liz, Momalula, Bam, Boom, Richard, Moma, Willam, Buzzville, Limmerville, Wallerville, Connemara, Connemara, Stratford, Proserpine, Alladalla, Darwin, Gingin, and the Quinn, Macadilla, Wallabilla, Bogavilla, Cumberland, I'm a killer. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Yeah, but what about America, mate?
Been to Reno, Chicago, Fargo, Minnesota, Buffalo, Toronto, Winslow, Sarasota, Wichita, Tulsa, Ottawa, Oklahoma, Tampa, Panama, Mattawa, La Paloma, Bangor, Baltimore, Salvador, Amarillo, Tocqueville, Barranquilla, and Padilla. What a thriller, I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I travel I've had my share, man, I've been everywhere.
I bet you haven't been to England, eh?
Been to Bradford, Guildford, Oxford, Littlehampton, Bedford, Chingford, Hereford, Wolverhampton, Shrewsbury, Canterbury, Aylesbury, Liverpool, Scunthorpe, Stanthorpe, Mablethorpe, Potterpool, Whitehall, Blackhall, Mildenhall, Devonport, Newport, Southport, Stockport. I'm a sport. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Where did you say you'd been to in Australia?
Been to Wollongong, Geelong, Currajong, Munna, Mittagong, Molong, Grong, Gwynwyddy, Boorandarra, Warrangarra, Torramara, Bow, Gunnagadda, Nine, Never Bite, Jiribuga, Goldong, Adelong, Billabong, Parramata, Parramata, Wangaratta, Coolangatta. What's the matter? I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Crossed deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've traveled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. I've been here, there, everywhere. I've been everywhere.
Sunrise, she bring in the morning. Sunrise, bring in the morning. Fluttering the skirts all around. Sunrise, she come with the dawning. Sunrise, come with the dawning. Spreading all the light all around. Sunrise on the kangaroo paw. Sunrise on the kangaroo paw. Glistening the dew all around. Sunrise feeling all the hollows. Sunrise feeling all the hollows. Lighting all the hills all around. Sunrise come with the dawning. Sunrise, she come every day. Sunrise, bring in the morning. Sunrise, every day. She drive away the darkness every day. Drive away the darkness, bringing back the warmth to the ground. Sunrise, come in the dawning. Sunrise, oh, she come every day. Sunrise, bring in the morning. Sunrise, every day. She drive away the darkness every day. Drive away the darkness, bringing back the warmth to the ground. Sunrise, whoa. Sunrise, whoa. Bringing back the warmth to the ground. Sunrise, whoa. Sunrise, whoa. Bringing back the warmth to the ground. Sunrise, bring in the morning. Sunrise, bring in the morning. Sunrise, bring in the morning. Bringing back the warmth to the
You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can be happy if you put your mind to it. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage. You can't take a shower in a parakeet cage. You can be happy if you were mind to. All you gotta do is put your mind to it. Knuckle down, buckle down, do it, do it, do it. You can't go swimming in a football pool. You can't go swimming in a football pool. be happy if you've a mind to. You can't change film with a kid on your back. You can't change film with a kid on your back. You can't change film with a kid on your back. You can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't drive round with a tiger in your car. Can't drive round with a tiger in your car. Can't drive round with a tiger in your car. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. All you got to do is put your mind to it. Knuckle down, buckle down, do it, do it, do it. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't go fishing in a watermelon patch. Can't go fishing in a watermelon patch. Can't go fishing in a watermelon patch. But you can be happy if you've a mind to. You can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. Can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. Can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. You can be happy if you've a mind to. You can be happy.
There's a monkey sitting in the family tree, up near the top where everyone can see, and people keep saying how he looks like me. So I ask him politely, dear Mr. Monkey, could you please come down from the family tree? There's a monkey sitting in the family tree, picking off fleas quite studiously, and no matter how polite I am, he keeps ignoring me. So I ask Uncle Joe on the branch below, could you please throw the monkey from the family tree? There's a monkey sitting in the family tree, clinging to his branch quite obstinately, and what he did to Uncle Joe has really angered me. So I've got a rock in my old slingshot, and I'm gonna knock that monkey from the family tree. There's a monkey sitting in my family tree, smiling down so mockingly at the way he caught the rock and threw it back at me. So what I've done is got my father's gun, and I'm gonna shoot that monkey in the family tree. There's a monkey sitting in my family tree, laughing quite ridiculously, 'cause every shot I took has missed and made a fool of me. But he won't laugh long, he'll be good and gone when I drop this atom bomb on the family tree. There's a monkey sitting in my family tree, looking very mournfully when I ask if there's room upon his branch for me. And with a very sad face up in outer space, I take my place beside the monkey in the family tree.
On the bank of the river stood running bear, young Indian gray. On the other side of the river stood his lovely Indian maid. A little white dove was her name, such a lovely sight to see. But their tribes fought with each other, so their love could never be. Run a bear, love the white dove, with a love big as the sky. Run a bear, love the white dove, with a love that couldn't die. He couldn't swim the raging river, 'cause the river was too wide. He couldn't reach a little white dove waiting on the other side. In the moonlight, he could see her throwing kisses across the waves. Her little heart was beating faster, waiting there for up to each other. Through the swirling stream they came, as their hands touched and their lips met. The raging river pulled them down. Now they'll always be together in that happy hunting ground. Running bear, love little white dove with a love big as the sky. Running bear, love little white dove with a love that could
The other day I was walking along with nothing much to do. I came upon the strangest thing, and I'm gonna tell it to you. There in a clearing by an old gum tree stood a young kangaroo and his dad. That young kangaroo refused to hop, and this is what he said. You know I ain't gonna hop, hop, I really wish you'd stop, hop, telling me I'm gonna hop like you. All this hopping along doesn't turn me on, I've got better things to do. I really wouldn't mind flying high like an eagle, or swimming like a porpoise in the sea. Yeah, but hopping's a gig that I really don't dig. It's just not my scene, if you get what I mean. I wanna do my own thing, pop, I wanna play rock and roll. Well, the old kangaroo, he was taken by surprise. He said, won't you listen to me, son? Kangaroos can't play rock and roll, don't you know that it can't be done? Son, you're from Australia and you'd be called a failure if you don't learn how to hop. Don't let your country down, son. But the young kangaroo said, hop. You know I ain't gonna hop, hop. I really wish you'd stop, hop, telling me I've gotta hop like you. All this hopping along doesn't turn me on, I've got better things to do. You know I really wouldn't mind flying high like an eagle, or swimming like a porpoise in the sea. But hopping's a gig that I really don't dig. It's just not my scene, if you get what I mean. I wanna do my own thing, I wanna play rock and roll all the time. Rock and roll, that's me, pop. Well, the years went by and that young kangaroo learned to play on his guitar. He practiced singing and he joined a group, and one day he became a big star. Now he's on the hit parade and television too, and everybody's following him. And all around Australia, all the young kangaroos I heard her sing. You know I ain't gonna hop, hop, I really wish you'd stop, hop, telling me I've gotta hop like you. All this hopping along doesn't turn me on, I've got better things to do. And that young kangaroo is flying high like an eagle, and all around the world he's a star. And everyone digs his rock and roll gigs, like rockin's he's seen, if you get what I mean. He proved he could do his own thing and play rock and roll. Yeah, play rock and roll. I love it. It's better than rock and roll. Rock and roll, yes. Rock and roll. Keep playing it. Rock and
down.
Well, crossing the highway late last night, he should have looked left and he should have looked right. He didn't see the station wagon car. The skunk got squashed and there you are. Ooh, you got you dead skunk in the middle of the road. The skunk in the middle